Testing? 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 Hello? Testing? Aha! Casually do it. Alright. So, how am I supposed to... Okay, I think it's fine. haven't really achieved a lot. Sure. Moon Prayer Night. Lauma again. Definitely up for it. Oh. Except we have no idea where to start. Haven't seen Columbina in a while. But she regained it. The doctor so far. What's weird is this only got brought up right now. I mean, sure, we knew from the beginning that Moika led us here because of the doctor. I was thinking about Columbina and the doctor. Exactly. We knew from him from that land. Perhaps one of his experiments. She's just a tsundere. Pretty much it. Behind you? Oh no. I haven't done this. Oh my god, I haven't even finished the Selenic Chronicles. Been too deep into Star Rail that I couldn't catch up to stuff in the game. Hello, Oridrika. Welcome to the stream. I was supposed to be making my script right now for the new video. It's gonna come out. Because I did make a poll asked, "What do you guys want to see?" And I gave you guys four choices to choose from, and I was supposed to start writing that, and I didn't realize that the new patch of Genshin is gonna come out. I wait. Can you guys hear me? Oh no, let me figure that out. Maybe an OBS adjustment. Uh, Probably in my. Hold on. Let me fix it one bit. Probably gonna take a while. Must have been the panning, if only the left or right. It's centered though. What if I make it mono? Okay. So, what about now? Mic panning too? I I set my mic to mono. Okay, there we go. Glad it's fine. Okay. I missed it. Gonna reread it. A micro is a mono device. Yeah, actually, this is the first time I stream again after a long time, and like I don't stream much often because back then I guess just the ASMR mic have two channels. Oh yeah, but I don't know if I could consider my mic an ASMR microphone. Well, it's a condenser mic, and initially I just bought it because I wanted to use it for maybe if I'm gonna be making covers, which I kept on saying a lot of that. Gonna be making covers. I would love to cover Finance Crash Out song though, but like nah, it kind of takes time, and I kind of don't know much. I don't have much connections among like the music community yet, so I'm gonna lie low for now. Okay, nothing much. I thought this quest is gonna start with like lore drop, unlike the last patch. Oh, true. No audio. Oh, wait. You couldn't hear the game? Hold on. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't speaking. But the game is. I'm not sure if it's being captured well. No game audio? Okay, let me figure that out. What about now? There we go. All good. Talk a little to check relative. Oh, okay, I think my game audio is a little bit louder than my voice. Okay, but is my voice soft? I mean, can barely hear you. Okay, what about now? Let me know if my voice is kind of peaking. It's not reaching orange though. Okay, that's right. Okay, so if I let Columbina talk now.
Actually, it's not that. There's
And I
something
speak.
else we wanted to discuss with you.
Oh,
Is it still
then
conflicting?
do you still want to give me your hand?
Maybe
Or
I could
not?
turn my voice higher. Because I'm not
Sure.
really speaking very loudly unless I scream. Maybe it's your baseline.
Thank you.
If
So,
I increase the gain.
I've heard that in the
Hello?
Moonfire Nights of the past, people here would hold celebrations in the Moon Goddess's honor.
Okay, what about now?
Since you helped so much in our fight against the Reihir of Solnari, I think you deserve a farewell
Up a
party
little.
before you return home.
Okay.
I haven't asked everyone else for their
What about
opinions
now?
on this yet.
It is cool. Okay, this should be good. Thanks. I don't really speak that much yet because I don't really stream often. And I did ask friends before who stream regularly now. Yeah, so I do ask my friends who stream regularly about this, about their, their first experiences, and because I'm also planning to stream, so I'm considering probably taking in their experience on how they first started streaming. And little did I know that they would also be silent initially. Chat has some delay. Maybe not too much now. Chat has some delay. A little bit more of the game, okay. This is good. Ambient crackle of my headset overpowers it. So, is my audio kind of distorted? Okay, what about now?
They call me Kutar, and the Fatui have an arrest warrant.
Huh, it must have been with me.
I shouldn't appear in public right now.
Okay, if I increase the gain from my interface and speak right now, what about now?
You have my word.
Okay, so if I speak, well, hold on, I'm gonna be
If you
yapping.
say, I will not refuse your invitation.
Player means is that the ambient sound surrounding
I
him.
to pack a few more sights from this world into my suitcase before finally learning what my homeland looks like. Oh, if you see Lala, please tell her.
Oh, okay, okay.
Me is neither yes nor no.
So the ambient noise is not from my end, but rather I think it's my audio being low. Okay, so I guess I increased the gain again. Yeah. Is it good? And then the game also, I also increased the gain of my game
Rather,
or my volume.
there is no need.
That was kind of cryptic, but sure.
What about now?
Guess it's between the two of you. We'll pass along the message. Bye for now.
Okay, I guess it's good now.
And also, I do not know.
A little bit of the game's audio. Okay. Let's make it negative 25 dB. Okay. This good?
She's agreed
Because
to join the
I'm also in a
festival.
weird
Let's go see
position.
Who else wants to take part?
I'm not sure if I should put my
Well,
mic
gotta
on
be
the
person
left
most familiar with the Moon Prayer Night.
or
We should
right.
start with her.
I should actually move my microphone.
What exactly is your plan to keep her safe?
This might become
Not
easier if
sure
more
yet.
people join chat.
figure
True,
something out.
I guess. But at the same time, it's not really kind of like expected to have more people in the first place.
Why did you become so sneaky?
Because I rarely wasn't active to kind of warrant an activity in the community so far, or at least in my YouTube channel.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd
That's
like
a
to
lot.
learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy
Okay, is
to
it too
teach
much?
you.
The game and my audio. But right now I put my mic in a better spot where it can capture my voice easier. Let's make it negative 28. How about that? $25 dB is too much. Okay. Oh, okay. But because the thing is, if I make it like at least negative 6, negative 15 to negative 10, okay, let's make it negative 12. And my microphone is set to like 0 dB already.
Being too popular can be such a hassle.
How about this?
Who knew the people would adore
Yeah, actually,
me so much?
let's go to a spot, but like my microphone is colliding with my mouse when I move the spot to my right.
Yoo-hoo!
My condolences. All good. It's colliding with my microphone. I should make space. Negative dB is attenuation, which means plane that which go out is which went in. Couldn't follow though. But maybe it's in my game audio because I have varying volumes for this. But it's all 10. I set it all to 10.
Hey, Llama! It's us! Huh? Varka? What are you doing here?
Beats me. I had a bit too much to drink last night, and when I woke up, I was on Hisi Island.
Mr. Varka is helping to oversee Nasha Town's preparations for Moon Prayer Night. He is here to go over some details regarding the decorations
Full volume
and
and
custom
settings
cloth
for
designs.
Genshin? Ah, so should I set it to 5? Later, after this dialogue, maybe.
Right, yeah, that too.
What do you mean, that too?
In general, all games. Noted. Preparations are already underway.
Yes. Celebrating this festival is a long-held tradition here in Nordkrai. On this day, the crescent moon at the top branches of the verdant crest turns into a full moon, and the moon prayer blossoms bloom with a special radiance. Our people take these
do you
to be
guys
blessed
want to hear
omens.
more of the voice of the characters or the background music?
It's an especially welcome event coming off the back of all that nasty business
sound
with
effects.
Rare. Everyone got put through the ringer recently, and now they're looking to turn their fortunes around. The big shots in town all agree that a big, lively celebration is just what we need to rebuild people's faith in this place.
No wonder Catherine said that people weren't so bothered about the religious element.
That's right. It's become more of a local custom by this point. The celebrations have little to do with whether the religious stories behind this event are true or not. Even the Frost Moon Scions are eagerly awaiting the coming of Moon Prayer Night, despite now knowing that their past beliefs were founded on a falsehood.
That's fair. Isn't
Well,
it
they're
like
gonna
the
be-
lantern ride in Liyue? It's a chance for people to enjoy themselves, not debate the existence of the Adepti.
Well, the Adepti aren't really kind of like, they aren't really fond of the festivals. They just, I like, from my personal experience of playing the Lantern Ride, I kind of think, oh, they're just really vibing when the chance arrives, but they don't really place much emphasis into like
Another thing,
celebrating
we
it.
just went to see Columbina. We went ahead and invited her to take part in the festival this time. Hope it's okay.
Wait, so...
Voice
You
over
mean
music,
she
sound
agreed to
effects
it?
depends on
Huh.
combats or
That's
puzzle
quite
things.
a surprise.
Lower
Then
than music.
I suppose that
Alright,
she intends to
sure.
return to the moon on that day.
Oh yeah, it's kind of a
Once I finish this
complicated
dialogue,
process,
I'm
but
gonna be adjusting
basically,
stuff.
I understand. In truth, I had a feeling that she might make such a decision. Well, if Kuthar has
Alright.
decided to participate in the
time.
festival,
Yeah, exactly. She was saying how it could be risky for her to show her face in public. We were wondering if there was any way we could hide her.
Unfortunately, the people who carved the statues did an excellent job of capturing her likeness. It will be very challenging to hide a goddess whose face everyone is so familiar with.
Darn! We may have bitten off more than we can chew here.
Nah, don't sweat the small stuff. We can handle that.
Huh? Are you saying you have a plan?
Not as such, no, but the most important thing with a festival is to keep the mood light and your spirits up. You can't go preparing for a festival with those long faces. You'll never convince anyone to enjoy themselves.
The Mondstatter spirit is strong with this one.
As it happens, I agree with Mr. Varka. Let's start by making our appreciation for Kuthar the beating heart of the festive atmosphere.
Kuthar.
And who knows? Once we get the ball rolling, perhaps everything will just fall into place.
Hey! Did you catch that? Lama said the thing! Or close enough at least.
Man, Lama is...
I'm looking forward to the Moon Prayer Night already. We have a festival in Mondstadt called Windbloom, and you can always tell which couples are celebrating it for their first time by the smiles on their faces. Big, beaming smiles like their whole face is glowing. And I have a feeling we'll get to see that same smile on the Moon Goddess's face at this festival.
Not quite the same, surely.
Anyway, I'll take care of business in the city, but I'll have to leave the decor up to you and the Frost Moon Scions. No one else can capture that traditional aesthetic quite like you guys. But lastly, there's the final key element that brings the festival to life. Companionship.
We'll take care of that part.
Before you leave, let me show you something that we've been preparing. Mr. Varka had asked to see it already, so you may as well tag along. Also, I have some further questions about Kutar's decision.
Okay, now I can change my audio settings in-game. So set the dialogue to 7.
Paimon coming in!
And the
this
music
level okay?
probably at 6.
Can you hear Paimon?
And sound effects at 5. Ah, I think this is better now. I'm gonna probably make it 8. Just in case people come in, you could comment if this is good or not.
Interesting to do?
And I could make necessary adjustments once changes need to be made again. Also, festivals are also gonna be held here. Not just the main city, pretty much.
Huh, what's this? They sure look like they're having fun.
I believe so. Kuhenki seem very skilled at playing drums like these, although I'm not sure where they learned it from.
Maybe it's an innate talent? In their eyes, they're probably just playing with toys.
Wanatar! You wanna play too?
Guess not.
Yeah. She looks more confused than anything.
Maybe we can teach her next time if we get the chance.
Hit on the left side. Can we like hit everything here? If we don't use... Nah, we cannot hit him with Brigitte.
Moon veils. We hang them from buildings in the city during the festival.
Oh.
When you look at the sky through them, it creates a lovely misty effect.
That's nice. Okay.
Everyone seems hard at work.
They are preparing items for Moon Prayer Night. For instance, the sculpture being made over here. Mr. Varka and I were just finalizing the details of where it will be placed.
Ah, there she is. I didn't know the finished article would be so large. Not to worry, though. All the necessary arrangements have been made. Just let me know once it's ready, and I'll get some people to ship it over.
You have my thanks. And over here, we are preparing a very traditional confection.
Confections.
Colors! It looks great! Can Paimon try one?
Of course. I have a feeling you'll like it a lot.
You bet! Sweets and treats are Paimon's favorite.
If you included those in the Feast of the Moon, I bet Paimon would have joined the Frost Moon Scions by now.
There will also be verdant crests like this present in Nasha Town during the festival. The timing of Moon Prayer Night is not completely set in advance. We make a rough estimate, then observe the changes in the verdant crests and moon prayer blossoms to guide us. As such, the wait itself is a fun feature of this particular festival. Let's talk here. To tell the truth, I am very surprised to hear that Kutar is willing to participate in the festival. I once asked her if she'd be willing to stay with the Frost Moon Scions. I could introduce her to everyone, and we could be a family to one another. She did not answer. but she has not appeared here since. I took this to mean her answer was no, but if that were the case, she would not have accepted this invitation.
Speaking of answers, she asked us to pass along a message. But she was supposed to go, I think. She's surely gonna go. There's no need.
Ah, I see. Maybe she is right. Maybe the Frost Moon Scions of today no longer need a moon goddess. But my wish was not for her to come here and be worshipped as a deity. I simply wanted to offer her a place to stay. I'm sure she believes that showing herself here might invite Fatui intervention, and as such she does not wish to cause us trouble. But what really pains me about all this is that this is her birthplace. She ought to belong here, yet no one has been able to grant her shelter.
I think I'm qualified to weigh in here. When someone's about to depart on a long trip, what they need is blessings, not burdens. We should wish her the best, not make the journey harder than it already is. Anyway, she's agreed to attend, hasn't she? All we need to do is simply respect her decision.
I see your point. Yes,
Man,
she will soon
Lauma.
depart after all.
I never get tired of like seeing Lauma.
Our
to
job
be
is
honest.
to leave her with some happy memories. Besides, who's to say her journey to the moon is a one-way trip? It's not like she can't come back and visit if she wants, right?
Is it?
Paimon agrees
Can it
wholeheartedly.
be possible?
Festivals are all about having fun, so let's keep it simple.
All right, I'm gonna head back to Nasha Town soon. Want to come with? I'm guessing you have some other folks to visit there.
Sure thing, let's go. Bye for now, Wilma.
Thank you all. Goodbye.
So I'd be waiting for when the spaceship starts to appear there, and maybe even start getting ideas, because over here. Okay, I better get back to the quest and just go over things once I'm done.
Huh? Hey, over there. It's Durin and Albedo with twins. What could they be chatting about?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Ah, Grand Master, and the Traveler and Paimon.
Hello there. It's been a while. Perfect. We have some new volunteers for our investigation.
Oh, we're investigating.
Wait, let me guess. The righteous Lightkeepers are finally ready to hunt down the Abyssal Dragon?
Abyssal Dragon?
Yes,
I thought we were
too.
hunting the Torii.
Yeah, right. Oh, wait. Why does everyone keep saying that too?
Well, to be precise, the facts match, but not the causality.
Wait, so I guessed right?
Half right. Don't act so impressed with yourself.
Maybe I can explain. We ran into Mr. Flint's north of Nasha Town.
Why does Durin's voice actually sound so familiar?
At that time, we just noticed a few abyssal creatures out in the wild, but the strange thing was, I didn't detect any traces of abyssal energy on them at all. On closer inspection, we realized that they were not real monsters, but something akin to reflections in the water, or perhaps a mirage.
For some reason, Durin's voice is so familiar. Like, it's something I've heard before, surely, in Genshin. But I can't point out which character it reminded me of.
Huh? What do you mean? Like, you could see them but not touch them?
Exactly. It was very peculiar. They roared and tried to attack us, but we could not make any physical contact with them.
I think I've heard of things like that happening in Notcry before, but I don't know much about it.
Yes, it's a known phenomenon. Mirage-like illusions tend to appear in Notcry in the run-up to Moonprayer Night. From a distance, they appear quite real. I myself thought that Misters Durin and Albedo were locked in battle with abyssal monsters when I first arrived.
But after sharing intel and investigating a little further, we can confirm that these illusions are harmless.
Oh.
There is no great cause for concern.
Things are starting to appear. And soon
All the
enough.
Mirage stories I've heard are either animals, rocks, or small houses. Abyssal monsters, though? That's a first.
And sooner, we're gonna be able to spot the spaceship.
It's a first for me too, so I'm planning to look into it further just to be on the safe side. I intend to inspect a few more locations.
What about you two? Any plans?
Alice contacted me a few days ago. She'd like me and Durin to assist her with an experiment. But we lost contact shortly after receiving the message. I'm sure that comes as no surprise to anyone familiar with her. We don't know when the wind will blow, yet when the wind blows, we will know. That, in a nutshell, describes how Alice operates.
Not gonna lie, it kinda goes fire. Accidental rhyming.
Yeah, that tracks.
Okay. Well, I suggest we investigate this Mirage business in the meantime. It's piqued my curiosity, and I'm pretty sure I know someone who will already be 10 steps ahead of us.
Well said.
Right?
Well said.
Whatever's happening in Notcry, she always seems to be the first one to know. Let's go see what she knows. We can invite her and her staff to the festival while we're at it.
Never, I guess. We're gonna be meeting Yehuda. Haven't gotten Yehuda all. It was all Bennett and Farzan. And I would appreciate another copy of Farzan in case I pull, but I'm probably gonna be holding my Primos now. Just because Shilonen is gonna come out. And I can't afford to skip her rerun. Oh wait, where is it supposed to be? Oh, there it is. Alright. What does Nefer have to say now?
You're right, I have noticed. There's certainly something a little fishy about this situation. Only a little, though. Records indicate that this phenomenon can occur in the days before and following Moonprayer Night. That said, it has always been a rare sight in the past. The odds of encountering these phantoms are similar to looking up in the night sky, happening to see a shooting star, and managing to make a wish before it disappears. But this time, either everyone's getting lucky, or they're appearing far more frequently than usual. Yehuda's out gathering intel as we speak. In the meantime, let me check off some points of interest. First, the Abyss.
The ones we saw seem to be abyssal monsters.
Indeed. But we have identified one location where many more of them have made an appearance. And not just monsters, but human phantoms too. Given the scale and nature of the phantoms, it's almost as if someone's last memories are coming to life. Or perhaps the memories of multiple people.
Oh.
So you mean the phantom monsters are hunting down the phantom humans?
Exactly. The phantoms can interact with each other, but we have no means of intervening. In addition, some of the human phantoms would seem to be from the very distant past. This is clear both from the clothing they wear and the stories they
Conrian?
tell. They claim to be from Hyperborea,
Ooh.
a name which I've heard from Lauma before. If this is true, it means they must be from 6,000 years ago.
Did Paimon
Okay, interesting.
6,000 years?
So are Hyperboreans older than Conrians? Because I wasn't sure. Last time I worked on a video about Rarier, I was trying to know if the Voyager or if like Sutervoinen is... It followed the funerary year. Sutervoinen arrived 2 times. The second time they arrived, and it's like, okay, the dragons are already gone. They're pretty much defeated by the heavenly principles. And they managed to inhabit or take the form of a young boy. I forgot. I researched it like just recently though. Yeah, I need to go through it again. Because it might have been a chance
It sounds
that...
like this merits further exploration.
That'd be a big help. I'll leave it with you, Albedo. My knowledge of ancient history is non-existent. I used to doze off every time the pre-Knights of Favonius era came up in class.
Maybe the Voyager's probably one of the earliest people in Hyperborea. That's what I think. Because from what I did search up, especially with Hymns of the Far North, and mentions of... I also did research Pohjola. Yeah, I did that. I did the pronunciation of Pohjola quite badly in my video, but at least I get to pronounce it better, I guess. But Pohjola is supposed to be a mystical place that is not necessarily a paradise. There are many recounts to it stating that Pohjola is a place that is compared or seen as similar to Tartarus. And there's another one which links it to the... I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Thule? I'm not sure. But that is... I'm not sure if it's a real place from how I searched it, but it's likely to be also a mystical place, a mythological place that is centered around distances. But there's also another thing I read, that Pohjola is part of... I mean, in one certain story, because I really forgot the titles, that it's like... Okay, I feel free to correct me if any of you guys know about Finnish mythology here, because there's this one Finnish mythology source that Pohjola is a place that the hero goes to seek wives, I guess. I'm not sure if my wording or if my memory serves me right. And that is something that we could connect to the angels and Sutervoinen. Because yeah, the angels... I mean, the first angel fell in love with Sutervoinen. And Hyperborea was destroyed It was destroyed because of that, I think. I think Hyperborea was one of the earliest abodes of the angels. It's all jumbled. I should probably resume this quest.
It's quite a miracle that you were able to understand these phantoms' speech, given how long ago they lived.
I suppose you're right. But I'll leave the archaeologists to ruminate over that conundrum. As an intelligence broker, my sole interest is in the value of the information I gather. Which, in this case, hopefully means earning myself some good favor with our dear Lady Moonchanter.
So calculating. Whew, this intel broker logic always catches Paimon by surprise.
Sounds to me like we could split the work up.
I think the abyssal phenomenon is best left to Albedo, Flints, and me.
Agreed. It coincides with my duty as a lightkeeper.
For my part, I'd like to understand the abyss better. Even a little knowledge would go a long way.
This is certainly a rare opportunity to study the abyss. But even rarer, perhaps, is the chance to make contact with the ancients.
The Curatorium will take the lead on investigating the Hyperboreans. We put in the work to learn what we know so far. It seems only fair that we get some quantity of exclusive intel.
But that is
that
insane,
just leaves
though.
our trusty team of 2 unassigned. Since you became an honorary knight, of course. This was part of my grand plan all along. Ha ha ha!
Oh yeah, by the way, we managed to convince Columbina to come to the Moon Prayer Night celebrations. Would you and Yehoda like to join too?
She agreed to that? Huh. Quite an achievement. Never underestimate the traveler, I guess. I'd be happy to join. No point shutting myself inside when the streets are all decked out. I doubt any clients will be visiting during the festival in any case. And Yehoda loves a party, so I'm sure she'll jump at the opportunity.
No, 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 no,
She's back.
no,
Way to contradict me in front of...
Wait, no, that's not what I have bad news, boss. So many people. All right, everyone inside, quick.
Holy shit, she goes so fast.
This is gonna sound crazy, but hear me out. I saw one of those phantoms at Star Sand
There
Shoal,
we go.
and it was some sort of flying ship.
There we
a
go.
spaceship? That's gotta be the one you came to Tibet in. You said you saw the same thing through the moon marrow, right?
Huh? You already know about it? Ugh, I thought I was gonna blow people's minds. Turns out I'm the last to find out. Wait, back up. You came here in a spaceship? Now my mind is blown! What's it like on the inside? Was it like flying through space? I want to know everything!
Huge discovery.
Exactly.
I agree.
Huge discovery. You're the best, second best intel broker in the world. After your boss, of course.
Wow. Really? Well,
I guess that decides where we're heading next. Come on, don't look at me like that. I know the spaceship doesn't have anything to do with me, but you don't want to leave me as the only one twiddling my thumbs, do you? Please?
Fair enough. You can tag along.
In that case, let's meet back here to discuss our findings once we're done.
I wish everyone a productive investigation.
You too.
what's up, boss? Aren't we gonna head out?
Tell me, Yehoda, when did the Curatorium start giving out intel for free?
Oh, sorry, boss.
Uh-oh. You messed up big time. Though it's insane that the Curatorium can't have access to intel or like manage to get intel from The first one was with Rarier. Of course, that is 500 years ago in the game's main timeline. But 6,000 Hyperborea with 6,000 years ago? Nefer might have the upper hand here, in case you want to do business with Yelan again.
Yep.
But there we go, the spaceship. There we go. How does it scale? It kind of looks weird for a spaceship, though. Okay,
Wow, what
maybe
do
it
you
is
know?
big enough.
Yehuda was right on the money. This Phantom really is your spaceship. But that's so weird. Why would it show up here? Is it some kind of projection? Or a ghost? Like, maybe it no longer exists. But somehow it left an after image?
Okay, so from what we know, from what we knew from Diridith, so the spaceship crashed. The spaceship crashed, and the traveler was still asleep. The Abyss sibling, or rather the sibling during that time, approached from the outside of the spaceship already and discovers that the key is still with the traveler. But the sibling also did have their own key. And so where did the Diridith key come from? Because what we knew is that the key given to Diridith was from the traveler, as we played from the quest itself. So it kind of justified the existence of the key given to Diridith. And yeah, that's where most of the theories about the time bootstrap paradox came from. But from my opinion, this offers a different perspective. Because if the Moon Prayer Night, or like this specific situation or circumstance, is made possible due to the moons appearing closer to Tivat, then yeah, surely enough, the moons, I don't think it's a time thing, but rather it's similar to my theory that it doesn't really have anything to do with time, but rather with different realms overlaid on each other. Especially since it was mentioned that through the Loom of Fate, I mean, the Abyss sibling used the Loom of Fate, or rather, they were able to produce the Atlas of the New World by superimposing the ley lines with the Loom of Fate. Yeah, so it's all about superimposition. It's not really time at all.
Ah, you're already here.
Miss Lauma, what a surprise. I thought you were busy with festival preparations.
I was, until one of our people informed me that a strange sight had appeared at Starsand Shoal. No one's ever seen something quite like this before. I thought I should see it for myself.
Same here. Oh, so we heard that these things appear around the festival period. Any idea why that is?
Unfortunately not. We have very limited information about them, since they can't be interacted with. And no human phantoms have ever made an appearance before now. The most we've been able to deduce is that these sightings appear to be connected to the increase in Kuvaki energy around this time.
Yeah, seems like that's all we can do. This is all so confusing.
Allow me to lend you a hand.
there's a deer. Okay, we can
Everyone,
get intel from the deer.
Our friend here should be able to provide us with some information.
Is that a phantom rhymehorn deer?
I've heard about how the Frost Moon scions live in harmony with the animals and can even communicate with them. That's coming in handy now, for sure.
Okay. Yes, I understand. Then how about this?
Oh, it's leaving.
It appears to share our curiosity about this giant spaceship, so I asked it if it wouldn't mind investigating along with some friends. In return, I told it about some nearby spots where the wild fruit grows abundantly. We may live in a different era from these phantoms, but I trust that the terrain, climate, and ecology here are more resistant to the effects of time than some things are. Let's give them a moment and hope for the best.
All back together? Must have been a lot of fruit.
Indeed. Now let me ask them some questions. It did find a lot of wild fruit, enough for them to feast for a long while. This puffin circled in the air several times, but didn't spot anything out of the ordinary. Certainly nothing to do with the spaceship.
Huh. Well, it definitely makes sense to get a bird's eye view.
Indeed. Other than that, I was also thinking that the world these phantoms see is also different from ours.
Oh, I get what you mean. The wild fruit exists in both times and spaces, but there might also be things that only exist in that space-time, which we can't see.
Because we don't see their whole world. Yeah, it's all about superimposition,
Good point.
like I mentioned.
Great thinking, Llama.
Blunthorn rhinos can use kuvaki to shift great rocks, but this one says it couldn't get that ship to budge by even an inch. The sniffer mole tried too, but despite being a skilled digger, could not get through. They say that the spaceship looks robust and undamaged. It seems completely impervious to any and all attacks. Whatever lies within is well defended from harm.
So, just like us humans, there was nothing they could do about this spaceship either.
Yes, still, they deserve our thanks. We are grateful for all your efforts, dear friends. Now go, and enjoy your feast.
Well,
I've noticed some other human phantoms gathered nearby. Come on, let's go talk to them.
so at least we can see the spaceship. Though the problem is... Okay. Yellow.
What is this thing? I've never seen it move, and there's no way to get inside.
Goodness knows. My grandpa says it's been sitting here at least since his grandpa was still alive.
What about his grandpa? Did he say anything to your grandpa's grandpa about it?
Huh? I don't know. In all likelihood, it was here back then too. Hard to imagine something this huge could move.
Guess that means that as far as they're concerned, this ship's been around a long time.
Darimir.
Come on, brothers. If we can get even a small chunk off of this thing, it's gotta be worth a fortune. Today is the day we strike it rich.
Huh? You mean Paimon?
Yes, brother, I shall join you. Let's make our fortune.
We should go with them.
What the? This thing is crazy tough. I can't even scratch it. What's it made of?
Sorry, brother. Looks like we'll have to seek our fortunes elsewhere.
Enjoying yourself?
I was just seeing if I could influence this phantom's perception by playing. But nope, no dice. I'm sure we're all starting to build up an idea of what's going on here now that we've spoken to some of the people. These phantoms are reenacting real historical events in Nodcry. It's almost like we're in some kind of interactive stage play. We can talk to the actors, but the plot is fixed, and we can't influence it.
It makes sense. History is set in stone. The objective facts of the past cannot be changed.
And that's a big hint. That is a big hint. That we could go back to the Deardith quest to review what actually happened. Because we couldn't influence the people. Varga couldn't influence the guy to, you know what? Tough luck, buddy. We can't really scratch this spaceship. Might as well look for some other place to earn our fortunes. And guess what? I guess we couldn't really influence Deardith as well. Or rather, my memory is failing me. Yeah, I'm gonna overthink this later.
Paimon totally thought you were just goofing around earlier. But actually, you were doing some serious investigating.
Of course I was. Anyway, at this point, I think we're forced to conclude that although the Phantom spaceship is right there in front of us, we aren't going to learn much about it from these people.
Though I think this is also something that we could observe in Caribert in the quest before. Like the first Caribert quest with Clothar Alberic. Especially when we went to the ruins. Asian? Hello, JX. Glad to see you here. Why, you didn't think I was Asian? And yes. Not the conventional Asian, but still Asian. Glad to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Kind of a scuffed stream, if I may say. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna be looking back at the Caribert story quest. Back then, when they went to the ruins and Caribert was worshipping the crystal Verifalnir. It's like, oh, okay, the traveler is basically an observer. They couldn't really... Because now it's lunch time now. Oh. Yeah, it's exactly free time for me. Because I usually do a lot of things at night. Like my routines, basically... I usually slot my routines at night. 12:50 p.m. Oh, we have the same time zones. Yeah, how's the... Are you having work or school? If only this showed the moment when my brother was searching for me. Maybe then I could have discovered why he wasn't in the spaceship. I think it's also worth probing into when they were descending into Tevat through the spaceship, I think it's also worth knowing what are the true means of the siblings' arrival in Tevat. Because honestly, the only way to answer that is for the traveler to recall their own memories. Because they could be the only ones who could regain the memory of whether the sibling was really inside the spaceship or they were together inside the spaceship when it crashes. Because if not, then that makes a difference from all the information that we have right now. That the sibling was summoned, or they arrived in Tevat for... Oh yeah, thanks for chiming in, Orodrika. Hope we can see it again. Thanks for chiming in, by the way. And good luck. So going back, if we could know that the sibling isn't with the traveler during the crash of the spaceship, then that confirms that there are other methods for the siblings' arrival in Tevat. Maybe they were indeed summoned by the Abyss, or by the Conrians who wield the power of the Abyss, or by King, or by the Vinster King, pretty much. That's what I think. And maybe it was a part of Verafulnir's prophecy. Who knows? Or if it showed the moment where it disappeared, I might have found out who was piloting it and where they were headed. If it showed the moment when it disappeared, who was piloting it? So is this implying that someone else has also sabotaged the ship? Or the ship's whereabouts? Or the destination, the supposed landing spot of this ship? No such luck. All we've seen is an arbitrary moment in time during its long-term stay here.
Don't be discouraged. If nothing else, this is proof of the ship's existence. And think about it. So many people tried to hack their way inside, but no one could get the door open. It's made of very tough material. To me, that says that we'll either find the ship itself or the story behind it. It's just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time.
Huh.
Matter of time,
Every
indeed.
now and then, when Varka gets serious,
Varka
he
gets
actually does
serious.
seem like Grandmaster material for once.
I wonder how the others are doing. Let's head back for now.
Let's head back for now.
Sounds
yes,
good.
Llama.
Also, drinks are on me if Team Knights of Favonius is the first to finish.
Wait, we have a team name now?
Am I in Team Knights of Favonius as well?
Yes, please, Llama.
You're very welcome to join. We've even got a cathedral ready for you.
Isn't that technically blasphemy? You wouldn't dare make a joke like that if Barbados was in earshot.
Nah, I'm sure Barbados doesn't mind a little harmless blasphemy once in a while.
Oh no. What's going on?
No! Get away! Oh.
Yeah. Could be changed. This is a lot similar
I
from...
know it's hard to stomach, Mr. Duran. But as I'm sure you've noticed, There is nothing we can do to intervene in that which unfolds before us.
But we have to at least try.
And try you have. But are you aware of how many unsuccessful attempts you've made now?
I wasn't keeping count.
I'm afraid this is the 39th failure so far. Or the 5th if we're only counting this particular victim. There are no indications that these phantoms may be altered in any way.
You seem to have calmed down a little. I'll make us a fire. You should rest and have some water. Feeling any better now, Mr. Durin?
May I ask a few questions?
Be my guest.
What exactly are we witnessing here? What happened to those people?
My guess would be that we are seeing Nodcry during the Conrian Cataclysm. Would that be accurate?
Conria.
That is correct.
That is correct. Correct.
As you know, once the Abyss senses even the tiniest crack, it floods in and spreads like wildfire.
Spreads like wildfire.
There was a time in the distant past when it permeated all of Nodcry, causing immeasurable harm. The people paid a terrible price to heal this land. Then, 500 years ago, the whole of Teyvat suffered an abyssal disaster. Once more, Nodcry was dealt a devastating blow.
I see.
In the face of the abyssal onslaught, all were like grains of sand tossed around by a tidal wave. Be they human, fae, or god. The moment you witnessed is but one drop in a whole ocean of catastrophe.
All right. I guess that answers my second question, too. I wanted to know why there's nothing I could do to help them, and that's because what we are seeing is history.
That would be my guess as well.
As I understand it, history and fate are not all that dissimilar. The latter may be unseen to us, but both are immutable.
Yes. Fate was determined long, long ago.
I still have a couple of other questions for you, Mr. Flintz. You mentioned more than one abyssal disaster that has struck this land in the past. How can you be sure that what we're seeing is from the Conrian incident? And also, how are you able to stay so calm when you're talking about these events? From everything I know about you, you're not cold or ruthless, and you're not indifferent to the suffering of others.
Alas, I am forced to show my age. I must be 600 or 700 years old by human measure.
Wait, so you...
One is not easily moved by history when one has witnessed the truth firsthand.
I'm sorry.
You needn't apologize. Your passion is a good thing to have. Treasure it, because someday you may find it in terribly short supply. Now, at the risk of offending you, I have a question in return. Your curiosity toward the Abyss, is it born from hatred or because you sense its call? I only ask because I kept a fragment of Rarir's body in my lantern for a short time. Specifically, his heart. So I know what a burden it can be to carry the Abyss with you. And I hear its power growling from somewhere within you. In my eyes, your mere existence is a miracle.
My honest answer is... I don't know. I don't think I have the confidence to say for certain. What I will say is the Abyss is not the only issue that haunts me. Even before I became who I am today, the question dogged me constantly. Should I even exist at all? My doubts remain unresolved. But when we fought Rarir, something became a little clearer to me. Sometimes it is the darkness within us that allows us to achieve the impossible.
I certainly got the sense from your 39 attempts that you were trying to achieve the impossible. It sounds like you've resolved to see the truth for yourself.
Absolutely. In that sense, he and I are quite similar.
Then I wish you every success. I look forward to the day of your transcension. Well, if everyone's caught their breath, I suppose we should head back. Oh, and one last thing. I'd appreciate if you kept our discussion about history a secret.
Gotta be piecing out all the traveler quest with this.
Incredibly, our separate investigations led us all to the same conclusion. Hooray for consensus!
Yeah, but we barely learned anything though. I totally thought this would be the mother lode. Talking with the ancients? I mean, come on! But nope. All we got was useless snippets of conversation. And all this stuff about moons and hyperopia. What a load of baloney. Seems like people back then had a few screws loose.
I understand your frustration. We found the same issue. Each phantom only showed a very brief moment in time. There isn't much value to be found in these miscellaneous fragments of a civilization's history, no matter how glorious it may have been.
If there's a silver lining, it's that these phantoms are harmless to the present reality. They shouldn't get in the way of the festivities.
Paimon agrees. And not just because it's the first thing she understood in this whole conversation.
You look disappointed, Nefer. Is something the matter?
What do you think? We all worked our tails off, but the only one to gain anything from it was you, Lady Moonjanter.
Well, please do share the Hyperborean records with me. I will gladly inscribe them in our people's documents.
Oh, duh! Yeah! That was it! Hyperborea! Hyperborea.
I'm serious.
Hyperopia.
Only an expert in the Frostmoon Scions and their history can turn these records into valuable research material. The alternative is to let them gather dust on the Curatorium's storage shelves until the pages turn yellow. Nefer, you're wise enough to know that cooperating and sharing the profits is the best course of action here.
Well, that goes without saying. Sure, let's do that.
Huh? But didn't you say we aren't supposed to give out intel for free? Sorry. Shutting up.
Now is not a good time to push Nefer's buttons.
Anyway, back to Moon Prayer Night. I'm thinking that we should prepare something a little special, aside from the usual decorations and so on.
You mean a parting gift?
Can't go wrong with food. Although, does food go bad on the moon?
Perhaps a lantern would be a better choice. It might be dark up there.
It could prove difficult to light a lantern on the moon. Magical stones might serve that purpose better.
What about a clockwork mecha model from Fontaine? I've got a whole bunch at home. I use them for fighting practice in my free time.
None of these sound like things she would be even remotely interested in. But we don't interact with her enough to know what she likes.
Yeah. It would really save us the guesswork if someone could find out what she's into.
Wait, what the? Traveler? They're all looking at you.
Great! Haha, problem solved. Now, I need to stop by Dory's. Gonna need her help sourcing a bunch of stuff for the festival.
Then let's leave it there for now. We all have our own business to attend to. Traveler, if you find out what Kutar likes, let us know right away.
Gotcha. Oh.
Is something the matter? I'm fine. It's just... I'm still feeling a little rattled after witnessing the horrors of the abyss. But it's okay. This is something I have to work through. I'll be alright. Thanks for your concern.
Well, don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you ever feel like something's wrong, physically or mentally, we're here to talk.
Come on. Stop treating me like a kid.
Probably gonna be ending it here for now. I'm gonna go some rest before I continue later. Probably only stream it on YouTube again. But I think that's it. Kinda had to overthink as early as now. Okay, maybe I could talk to some people.
Miss
before I leave.
Lalma, would you accompany me into town? I think it'd be best if you saw the Frost Moon Scions decorations for yourself.
Very well. Let's go.
Okay. What they got to say, Yahoda?
Could you do me a solid and try to smooth things over with Boss Neff?
Yahoda.
Which is why we need a lantern guaranteed to work on the moon.
Yes, I have a few ideas, but the lantern itself is the easy part. The real issue is how little we know about the lunar environment.
Wait, you two are serious about this?
Let's just say I'm intrigued by the shining magical stones that Mr. Albedo has mentioned.
Okay, I think that's pretty much all of it. Oh, never.
You should get going. It's important that we ascertain what Kutar likes.
Alright. Okay, I'm gonna be stopping here. So if there's any one of you watching for now, I appreciate you coming over to the stream. Although, apologies for having it a little scuffed. But I might stream again tomorrow or later to continue the quest. Because I'll also need to finish this as soon as possible so I could create or write my script for my new video regarding this. I have 2 videos in line after this one. So, yeah. Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for tagging along, and I'll be seeing you guys anytime soon. Bye.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.